The key didn't work. Good morning, everybody. We're going to be practicing today, and I'm going to be practicing with some of the drum charts that are on my YouTube channel and website. Now, in these practice streams, I share the raw, unfiltered, here's how I work on stuff, especially stuff I'm not good at. So I am going to be working on some limb independence patterns today that I am struggling with, and I'm going to share like how I work through it and just kind of the raw, unfiltered practice session that I am going to do. If you want to see more practice sessions, like on rudimental stuff, you can find just under 300 practice sessions in this playlist, the Drumming Live Streams one. And this has timestamps in the description of all these, so you can see like what I'm talking about or what I'm working on in case you're curious how I'm practicing something. Now, when people come into the chats, because I've been drumming since 1998, teaching since 2003, have a doctorate in music education, blah, 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 blah. I've got a lot of experience. So people come in and ask questions on like, how do I teach, or how do I practice, or how do I play something, etc. I edit those down from the streams and put them into this drumming tips playlist that's got like 9-ish hours, I think, of tips that you can use. If you don't want to go to my website, you can just stay on my YouTube. And under the YouTube, the home tab has literally over 1,000 free play alongs here. It's also got gaming and computer science stuff. But when you click on the drumming one, it expands and it shows you just the drumming play alongs. And again, there's over 1,000 of them for free. Just use the timestamps in the description to jump to whatever BPM you want for the technique stuff, the chop stuff, the marching bass stuff, whatever it is you want to work on. But the best place that you can possibly go to sort through it all is linked here. /drum on my website. It has all the chop exercises, all the like 900 grid variations, the drum charts I'll be using today, the marching bass stuff, the technique stuff, and then those drumming tips and drumming live streams playlist here. So you can find everything neatly organized. Now, we are going to be working out of a couple of books. So the book that we're going to be using for the patterns is 50 Ways to Syncopation by Don Moyle. I highly recommend getting this book. The way that we're practicing this is out of New Breed, 1 and 2 by Gary Chester. And the books, you can actually find links to them right here under the books and gear I recommend. You just click on that. And most of these, if it takes you to Amazon, they are affiliate links. So you can find Don Moyle's here, and then the New Breed's there. So if you use these links, it actually makes it so that I get about 4%-ish back from Amazon at no cost to you. So if you're going to buy a large TV, click on one of these books, and then whenever you purchase, I get 4% back. It doesn't even have to be one of these books. It can literally be anything within, like, I forget however many hours after you click the link. So thank you for everybody who has done that so far. But anyways, today, we are going to be practicing some stuff that I'm struggling with, and so I need to get motivated here with Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf is going to help me get into the grind mindset, the streaming mindset. Oh, no. My drum module is, like, stuck on the mic. Will this reach? Yes. Okay. We should be okay. It might get in my way a little bit. Shia LaBeouf, let's get motivated here. Oops, gotta hide him. Copyright. Do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, he said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, yeah, I'm super motivated now. Thanks to Shia LaBeouf. We are going to grind on some of these patterns that I'm not good at. But actually, before I do that, I want to check out a sound test here. So let me just pull up a video. Sure, that sounds great. Okay, so I'm going to listen to myself live and use this to hear how I sound. Okay, let me adjust this. Yeah, so it just gets really crunchy. So I realized, like, when going back and reviewing the stream, that it sounded terrible because, for whatever reason, the gain is, like, super high. So let me... specifically the bass. See, that's too quiet. Let's try this one. Okay, that's better. See, the thing with the drum module is, like, you can change it. So you can get all sorts of different sounds and whatnot, but, like, it sounds fine on my end, but on YouTube it just sounds terrible. Let's see. I want to make sure it's not buried in here. Hey, Curtis. Good morning. Okay, I think that'll work. Cool. I'm tired of hearing myself with like a couple second delay. All right, so 85%. Note to self, future Jared. That seems to be a number that works for that particular gain. We can always adjust it as needed. Where'd it go? No, it went away. No. Okay, let's do this. Oh, I forgot to share a quote that resonates with me. Where is it at? There it is. Sorry, we had to do a sound check. Okay. So this quote is an interesting one. I think more people need to kind of talk about this. So the quote is, "I'm not here to live by other people's expectations about who I am and what I should do." Whether it's like with the relationship that you should be in or like the career path you choose, things like that. So as an example, I had basically all of my relatives outside of my like immediate family question my choice to go into music education, and were very judgmental about that, saying like, well, what kind of career are you going to get? Like, there's no point, etc. And yet I went and got the highest possible degree that you possibly could with it, was very successful in the field, went on and did other career pivots where people will look at me and go, well, why would you do that? You should do it this way. You shouldn't do this, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, at what point are you going to stop living by other people's expectations and just like forge your own path and kind of go along your own future that you are choosing for yourself? And if you have this tendency of like following other people's expectations for you, it can lead towards resentment. So let's say it's like your parents, which is where I often hear students who were like, I really want to be able to like pursue a degree in music, but my parents won't let me, kind of a thing. When you get to be my age, 39, odds are you're going to have a lot of resentment that you weren't able to pursue the things that you wanted to pursue because other people held you back, essentially, because you were going by their expectations. So just a quick little quote that really resonates with me, but hopefully resonates with you. It sounds much better? Sweet. Thank you, Drew. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, it sounds great on my end. And then when I went back and listened to YouTubers, like, wow, that sounds crunchy. Like the bass drum just like turned the gain all the way up. It's smashy. Tips for faster eights? Practice slower, which is, it sounds odd, but refining your technique slow and getting the motion down, like let's say you're playing traditional grip, just really getting that down and isolating out like the different mechanics to like understand like what is my hand doing, what is the rotation doing, what is my match grip doing, etc. That is how you get better at anything. So like tomorrow when I do the practice stream on, we're actually going to play through RCC's Maury Spree tomorrow. I'm going to slow it all the way down to 40 and just go up one click at a time. And like that's how you get better, is by refining something very slow, or that's at least one of the ways that you can get better. But it's what I like recommend for most students. But there's a lot of different exercises in here that you can use to work on like 8 on a hand in particular, or legato strokes in general. So what I'd recommend doing is going to the endurance and speed playlist. And if you go into here, one that stands out immediately, you could do like a 16th note pyramid, but the my favorite one probably would be progressive and regressive double stops, which is like a very fancy way of saying like add one double stop at a time and then get rid of one double stop at a time. So you do it on the right, 8 on a hand, on the left, and then you do a single both. So a double stop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and then you do 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And it just keeps adding one until you have a whole measure of double stops, and then it removes one at a time. So that's a very quick answer for your question, which is a good question. But slow it down and work on stuff like this or 16th pyramid, and just really isolate it out. Like, what are your hands doing? What are the mechanics? As an example, when I was in high school, I got 2 lessons with Jeff Queen, who's like a 4-time world champion snare drummer. And I had a lesson with him, a day off from school, and then a lesson with him on another day. So it was like a 3-day period. And he like really recommended me to work on like some changes with like how I was holding the stick and my legato strokes. And I literally spent the majority of the day in between just working on those legato strokes. So I played like 8 on a hand for no exaggeration, at least 5 hours that day in between. And when I came back the next day for the lesson, I had made so much progress because I sat there and like worked on it slow. Like I literally just put the metronome at 40 and just really focused on relaxing the technique and whatnot. And it made huge progress with my overall playing and whatnot. So I highly recommend doing that. Like to the point where he's like, I've never seen anyone make that much progress in such a short amount of time. Do you want to march on the drumline that he was teaching on for drum corps? And I was like, I appreciate it, but I didn't have the money to like fly out there. So like it pays off, like if you work on that stuff. Another exercise now that I'm thinking about is actually Rebound that you could also work on. This is great for working on velocity strokes and legato strokes, depending on how you play through it. But check out the suggestion here, like of how to practice this, and then the video is right here. I'll actually play through this later, but I'm going to play through it not working on legato strokes. I'm going to play through this going snare, snare, bass, bass. So I will just be going this like that, but we'll do that later. This guy is wholesome. I tried to be. Just trying to have fun drumming or gaming or whatever. Thank you for all the shares. I appreciate it. Okay, we are going to warm up our hands with number 10. So number 10 is a pattern here that we are going to work on. We'll try it at 110 beats a minute. So all you're doing is triplets. And you play the line with the accents, but when you have a short note, you do it like that. When you have a long note, like quarter notes, you're going to play it right hand on the ride cymbal, left hand on the crash, and you're going to do it with the bass drum at the same time for each one of the long notes. And to make it even more complicated, you're adding in diddles on the taps, so double strokes. So if you're playing like quarter notes, the problem is the EAD10 does not pick up quiet ghost notes. Like I'm still playing a roll. You might be able to hear it on the mic, but you can't hear it on the EAD10. So if it sounds like I'm not doing a roll, I promise I am. But we're going to use the charts here. And since we're doing it at 110, we're going to go with the Swung charts, 100 to 159. And you can pick any one of these and just kind of like play through it. So let's do sure. All of the play-alongs, literally over 1,000 of them. Just go into the timestamps in the description and click whatever BPM you want, and then it'll count you off, and then you can have fun playing along. You can't hear the count off and stuff because it's muted. There's like a slight timing delay. That makes it really weird. But just playing through a swung pattern with the diddles on the taps, eighth notes on snare drum, playing alternating triplets and the long notes on the bass and the cymbals. 1, 2, ready, and... Weird pattern, right? And unfortunately, you can't hear all the nuances with like the low notes. I wish I had a better drum module hooked up to it and triggers, but make do with what we got. Don't annoy the neighbors. 1, 2, ready, aim. Read that wrong. Why did you do that? It's a ghost. Okay, we fixed it. Let me move the mouse. And a 1, 2, a 1, 2, here we go. No, it keeps right clicking. It's covering up my screen. Stop it! Now, you wouldn't normally play this, like, an entire chart this way. This would be for, like, a measure. But this is just, like, to practice the independence pattern. So it's just a good way to work on it. And again, those double strokes, you just can't hear it because they're low notes. So you can't hear those. There's like a threshold. 1, 2, I promise you there. 1, 2, ready, and. Sweet! We survived it. Most of the issues were just like reading issues rather than coordination issues. So overall, it was like mostly technically proficient. The thing is, like, when you could sort of see some of the time that it right-clicked when the mouse was like messing up, But for whatever reason, like when I right click, it sometimes shows it, and then if I right click like up here, like it doesn't show it on your end, but it shows it on my end. Like it's like, why? Why? Okay. Hey, we graduated from that one. So that one, we'll just continue to speed up now. I'm specifically focusing on the ones that need a lot of work or a meh, and that one was a meh, which is just kind of like, almost played the notes on the page. We want to eventually get all of these to be musical, but right now we're just kind of playing the ink, and they don't sound amazing yet, but we'll get there in time. But first, we got to stretch your massage. Now that we warmed up, take your sticks, pull them in like that. Ooh, that's quick. It's such a good stretch. And go out the way you came. I really like the convenience of having drum triggers and stuff. In terms of making it so you can play quietly. Like these are mesh heads with the low volume cymbals, but it's so different than playing on an actual kit where you can get all these little nuances in the sound quality with your low notes and whatnot. And I feel so constrained with it. It's like I don't know, unable to use the full tool set that I'm used to, when playing on concert snare and whatnot. There's so many different textures you can make, so many cool, interesting sounds you can do, and then that doesn't really translate over or transfer over into these drum triggers. I'm stretching the underside of the forearm, which is kind of a bummer. But I don't know. Maybe in the future I'll get a better electronic drum kit that actually can get some of the nuances, but they're expensive. Or if we move to a different place where the setup won't annoy my wife when she's working virtually or something like that, then we can get an actual drum kit. Stay tuned. We'll find out. Stretching the top side of the forearms now. You could do it one at a time like I was just doing this direction, but we're going to do it on the legs like this. And now we're going to stretch the fingers, thumb to thumb. And then after this, we're going to work on the pattern that we did 2 days ago that was rough. So that one, we had to start with the permutations for the eighth notes just to even be able to get through it. And then we had to pause the music and just grind out a couple lines at a time. So I'm going to jump straight into it today and see how that goes. But this one is truly, I can't do it yet. It's rough. So we'll see how it goes. But again, when you're practicing, if you spend the majority of your time working on stuff that you're good at, then guess what? You're not going to get better compared to if you spend the majority of your time on stuff that you're not good at yet, which is what I'm trying to do with this. Drum kit is one of the things that I have played the least in percussion. I am not yet where I want to be. Compared to rudimental, it's 100-fold amount of time, maybe even 1,000-fold more time on rudimental compared to drum kit. I am still very novice. We'll get there. Now that I'm doing every other day as drum kit, it'll get better. Right now, what I'm doing is massaging here and then massaging the back of the hand with the fingers. So that's the goal, to relax. And once I finish this massage routine, we'll get back into playing. So the pattern that I'm going to play through next is a swung pattern, but it's slow 16th note. Ding, ding, ga-ding, ding, ga-ding. While you read through double time on short, long with snare and bass. So short notes on snare, long notes on bass drum, and it is rough. There is so much space in the cymbals that I kind of get lost. The hi-hat's on 3, and sometimes that does not happen. Stay tuned, we'll find out. I'm massaging base to tip of each one of the fingers at least 2 times. And then we will play through these patterns. Okay, so we're going to jump straight into this. And yesterday I did it at 150, I believe. We'll start there again. And we will, just kind of pick a random set of charts and see how we go. Yeah, so 150. It was meh. Well, it's better than needs a lot of work. Progress is being made, slowly but surely. Ah, I closed it. Like how it suggested the movie Drumline in the search. Nah, I'm good. That's not what I'm looking for. Silly Google. Okay, so 150. So we're going to straight charts. I almost went to the wrong one. And sure, we'll do 36 to 40. That sounds great. And then we'll go to 150. And it's going to tap us off. And we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it goes good. 1, 2, ready, and... So slow. Thank you for all the likes on TikTok. I appreciate it. 2, here we go. No! This is rough. It's better than it was 2 days ago. So we're making progress on it, but there's just so much space. 1, 2, here we go. No! No, no, no. 1, 2, ignore that playthrough. So that last page that we just did, the second line, the second phrase of each one of them is permutated off by an eighth note, so it just shifts over. Ooh, this is rough. I'm going to want to play through this again with another set of charts when this one's over, because I really need to refine this one more. 1, 2, here we go. Struggle bus. Also, it doesn't help that my hi-hat is sliding away from me slowly. 1, 2, here we go. Okay, let's move this. Thanks. You know, it actually, compared to what it was 2 days ago, that is like night and day. Because 2 days ago, like, I couldn't even get through the first measure without just like, just completely having myself. So progress is being made. Shorts keep sliding up. Let's pick another set of charts and let's do this again. So, sure, 6 through 10. Sounds great. Go into the timestamps in the description. 150. Same thing. So a slow, basically a half time 16th note swung while reading through the charts. Snare on short, long on bass drum. 1, 2, ready, and. A 1, a 2, here we go. Okay. Getting better. Slowly but surely. Just gotta keep working on it. A 1, a 2, here we go. Tricky. Okay, this pattern is weird. So when I wrote it, I intentionally put like what would normally be like the 3 on snare, and I put it on the upbeat, the and of 3. No! Okay. We survived. Barely. No one saw any of those mistakes. 1, 2, ready, and. This next chart is one of my favorite charts of the like 55. It's groovy. I mean, we'll see how it sounds with this pattern. 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Okay. It's still not like performance ready, like at all. Like I would never play that in front of people, except for, you know, the billion people who are watching this live. But the comparison between 2 days ago and today is just like night and day. Like how much more comfortable it feels. It's still very meh, but I'm making progress, which is awesome. You watched some of my tutorials. They're very helpful. Oh, hey, I appreciate that. And yes, I do remember you. Glad to hear that they're helpful. There's a lot more on the tube of you. A lot more to come. Stay tuned. Okay, so that one, which still needs a lot of work. This next one also needs a lot of work. This one is rough. Let me show you why. So, this one, move my hi-hat. Keep sliding on me. There's like, what, 36 pounds of weights and this mic stand pushing against it. And it's still sliding. I've been doing too many leg days in a row. Too strong. Okay, all jokes aside. So this pattern is ding, 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 ding. So now it's a triplet swung, which is like, okay, and then you read the patterns on the snare drum. Which is like, wait, what? Why is that hard? Well, because you fill in with triplet bass drums as ghost notes, basically. So if you have quarter notes, it's rough. Which is why I'm going to play through this slow. And I might need to start with the permutations. And yes, that's definitely how you spell permutations. Permutations. Perfect. We're going to leave that there. It's just beautiful as it is. Okay, so we did it at 77 last time, and it was technically proficient. Let's try to 80, and let's see how that goes. My guess is not too great. Stay tuned. We'll find out. Today's episode of Having Myself Publicly. We're going back to my website, and we're going to go to the Swung charts, 60 to 99, and we're going to pick, I don't know, 41 through 45. This one is currently members first, but I promise every members first video is scheduled to release. It's just I've got like over 200 of them scheduled, so it might take a while before it comes out. But we go into the timestamps, we click at 80, and then it's going to count me off, and then we can practice. It's so slow. 1, 2, here we go. So again, we're just playing a leisurely swung pattern. Nothing hard about this. While we read through the pattern on the snare, nothing hard about that. But we're filling in triplet on the bass drum. Move a little closer. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2. You'd never actually play this on the chart. So again, you'd never read through a whole chart playing this that way. This is to develop the coordination to be able to do it. So maybe for like a measure on like a big hit, maybe playing faster than this, you would play something like this for like 2 to 4 beats, and that's it. But this helps you develop the coordination by reading the entire chart this way. But like I would never hear like an actual jazzer playing this ever. I think I could actually speed this one up, except for those ones where it's like a whole measure of just silence. My foot's like, no, you're not a metal drummer. Too much in a row. Okay, this one doesn't look like it has a bunch of, well, it's got those dotted quarter notes. Wish me luck. 1, 2, here we go. Quite the foot workout. Here we go. This is a moment of respite. Rest at this campfire, weary of traveler, can't speak. Oh my! Too many in a row. Yikes. Okay. Last chart for this one. This is a fun challenge, but it's just like, it's tiring. I'm having some reading issues, but also my foot is just like, please, you can stop now. Thank you. Again, you never play through a full chart like that, but try it like for coordination and to be able to potentially insert it into like a measure or two at most. in some kind of a chart. But mostly technically proficient. My biggest issue is just my foot getting tired and just reading airs, which is just like 100% on me. Let's see here. Okay, so we got through 2 very difficult ones. I'm like pretty happy with number 16 in particular. That one is rough. There's just so much space in there. Let's play. Let's see. Let's do this one for funsies. We're gonna add in an extra one. So this one I'm actually comfortable with. And last time we did it at 200. Sure, we'll try it again there. And so the Baião pattern, this one, you're gonna play with the foot, or feet rather. Right, left, right, both. Right, left, right, both. Right, left, right, both. While you play 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, and you can play like on the ride on the 8th notes, like that if you want. While you read through the pattern, the charts with the snare drum. So let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna go back to my website. We're gonna go to straight charts, and you can pick any one of these. We haven't played this one today, I don't think. And we're gonna go into the timestamps, and we're gonna go to 200, and then it's gonna count me off, and then we're hopefully gonna have fun playing this. Stay tuned, we'll find out. 1, 2, ready, hey. A 1, a 2, here we go. A little bit of reading issue there. Hook it on phonics, working for me. Is that Brian Regan, I think? Here we go. My left foot is just like sliding all over the place. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. It's genuinely distracting. Stop it. Alright, last chart. And then we're going to work on double strokes with our foot. A 1, a 2, here we go. I'm just gonna stop. So you probably can't see it, but my left foot is going like this and just like slowly like sliding like that. This is where the hi-hat should be, but it was like right here. It was so rough. I'm just like slowly going like this the whole time. Okay. We'll stop that there. I need to fix that for next time. That was the last chart anyways. So the last thing I'm going to work on today is working on the double stroke with the foot. I don't need the left foot for this, thankfully. But underneath the timing transitions, you can find it towards the top. At the top of every playlist is just like a 1 or 2 minute video kind of explaining how you can use these. But the exercise I'm going to use is Rebound in this particular playlist. And so I'm going to do it. We did it 2 days ago at 1:30. And all we're going to do is just snare, snare, bass, bass. That's it. Nothing fancy, except the rhythm changes. 2, here we go. Snare, snare, bass, bass. Such a good way to work on your double strokes with one foot. If you have a double pedal, you could even play it so that you're doing like right, right, left, left. But I'm trying to improve my technique from a bass drum, and this is a great way to do that. Perfect. I made that sound effect to emphasize how good it sounded. That's called a joke. 2, here we go. I was getting it better about not doing that like triple stroke with the foot, but there we go. My foot's getting tired. All right. Whew. Coffee break. Back on the grind. 5 more clicks. Here we go. Four more times. My foot technique is getting better. Progress. Two, ready, and... Whoops. Last time. Here we go. All right, we did it. Oh, the Baião. It was not that. It was technically proficient. I had fun with it. It was not pushing my limits. Keeping track of this stuff just like makes it so I can come back to this and go, well, how was it last time I did this? And I can see the areas that I need to work on that say like meh or needs a lot of work. Where are you at? Here we go. Cool. Basically the same thing as yesterday, but I felt like it went, or 2 days ago, I feel like it went better than 2 days ago. If I do say so myself, I have fun with it. It was good. Good. Sweet. Okay, so again, the book that I'm using for these patterns that you can use the charts with is found at the very bottom under books and gear I recommend. When you open this up, it's 50 Ways to Syncopation by Don Moyle. And then the way that I'm practicing this is heavily inspired by Gary Chester's books, the New Breed 1 and New Breed 2 books. But there's a ton of other books in here, as well as like the pedal I'm using or the sticks I'm using. And these are affiliate links, most of them. So if you see one that takes you to Amazon, you can use that whenever you purchase anything on Amazon, and it gives me about 4%-ish back at no cost to you. So if you spend $100, I get $4 out of it. So it's a way that you can support for free. Speaking of support, just share any of the resources on here with somebody that you know who might be interested in the technique stuff, the bass stuff, the drum charts, the 900 grid variations, the chop stuff, whatever. If you don't want to go to the website, which is linked up here, you don't have to. You can just stick on my YouTube channel. And on YouTube, make sure you go to the home page. The home tab is where you find all the drumming stuff, all the gaming stuff, and the computer science stuff. Because there's literally over 1,000 free videos, if you try and like find it in the video tab, you'll never find it. So just click here for drumming content, and then it shows you the drumming tips playlist, the technique stuff, the chop stuff. Or if you scroll down, it's got the different charts that are using, like right here, and grid variations, blah, 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 blah. But I appreciate everybody stopping by this morning and watching me have myself on drumkit. Tomorrow, we will be working on RCC's Maury Spree. There's actually a mistake in one of the play-alongs, and so we're going to fix that. And I'm going to show you. I did fix it, but we're going to talk about what the mistake was. Thank you, Glim, for pointing it out on YouTube. Appreciate that. But I'm going to call it here, and I'm going to get ready for Rise of the Ronin. So we should be on that game in probably about 15, 20 minutes. It depends on how long it takes me to like rearrange all this and get set up. But I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.